We're starting to get some pushback on these prediction markets. Brian and I are going to go through some of the legislative pushback we're starting to see online. We got some more drama in the sports betting streets, some funny stories that came across our timelines. And we also have to figure out what's going on with Osimo these days. A weird tweet from Osimo. We're going to get to the bottom of it today on Lulz. I'm Pete with Brick. Let's do it.
Does he think? I think he thinks this. He thinks this is a go. Vegas Dave thinks this is a go.
Hot naked girls doing yoga.
What?
Why don't you just win like a man?
Random.org. Type in 1 for yes, 2 for no, and let the DFS gods pick for you.
And I'm absolutely begging you not to dupe us. Please don't dupe us. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Brian and I were just looking at our schedule. We got the holidays that are apparently anti-lulz. We saw Thanksgiving, obviously always a Thursday. Christmas this year falls on a Thursday. There's another Thursday in December. I'm not going to be around, Brian. You know, people are going to have to make a most of these lulz episodes that they get.
Yeah, Thursday this year's holiday heavy.
It is. It is. GMs all around. What is up, Nerdy? What is up, Meat? What is up, Chad? What's up, Garage? How are we doing? How are things going with you, Brian? You know, right before we get into all the news, what's up with you?
Not much. Still just grinding away. I think we're live with our NBA stuff, so that's new over at Run the Sims.
Oh, you are? You're live?
Yeah. We're live with it. It's free right now.
Was there an announcement for any of this?
No, we just kind of wanted to slow roll it out because
okay,
wanted to make sure it works and stuff and that it's updating because NBA is so very time sensitive on people being ruled out and stuff. So we wanted it to go live before announcing it, and then people go try it, and we're even going to keep it free for a while too, just to make sure it's fully working. Because if you have an NBA player gets ruled out and it's not working, that's a worthless product in DFS world. So give it a shot, see what you think. And we're still tweaking it. We're still working behind the scenes. Everyone's looking at it and putting in their 2 cents.
It's like people always say you'll soft launch a relationship by putting a photo up of you and your new person that you're dating, but not officially say we're boyfriend. This is, you just soft launched the NBA projections here on Lulz.
Yeah, we've gone out on a few dates, nothing serious.
Well, and you don't have your, actually, do you or don't you have your roundtable moderator back from paternity leave? I know Swolecast, his paternity leave was 4 days. I don't know if Run the Sims, it's a little longer.
He's back. I don't know if he's full back, but he's responding to DM.
He seems really back to me. He seems really back.
He can't stay away. That's one of his biggest lies is he says if he won a big tournament, he'd be done. He's done with the internet. He's done with Twitter. I don't believe it. I think
no. Well, first you win the big tournament, and then you go back around and you dunk on all of the haters and losers individually, and then you deactivate all of the accounts. And,
right, yeah, and then
the sunset.
And then 2 months later, the itch starts happening, and then he's right back on there. I can't believe the Chiefs just did that.
No, that was my joke on the Swolecast. If the Chiefs do lose to the Colts this week and essentially lose their playoff chances, that he might, take a second paternity leave. I'm actually, maybe I should take some time off on the internet here.
Was he on this week?
Yeah,
I didn't catch the Swolecast. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about the NBA stuff though. Who's doing? Is Adam doing the minutes type stuff?
No, well, no, we hired a couple coder guys and just meet with them and then build the model out together, but they do all the hard work. And then
but I mean, I assume someone from the team is
100% algorithmic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Which is why we're soft launching it too. And then the plan would be to have some manual way that we could switch those minutes when we need to.
Mm-hmm. Because right now
Or
it's not. Is the goal for it to be like the NFL product where you could go in and adjust the minutes and fiddle with that stuff? Is that where you want to get it to?
Oh, I got you. Yeah, but it's just going to be projections. It's not going to be a sim.
Oh, okay, not going to be a sim.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I think we talked about NBA sims previously, right? It's like is it just too hard to do with all the late swap stuff?
Yeah, it's basically should be like a late swap product. You'd still want the normal front pre-lock stuff too, of course. But it's every day. It's time sensitive. NBA is not as big as NFL. It's a lot of work that we don't want to deal with. So we're just probably never going to do an NBA sim product because we'd want to do it the way we do stuff too, which is a big pain in the ass to build and keep live, and eats a lot of CPU power and stuff, costs money.
Yeah. So as of right now, because the way the NFL stuff for you guys work, like you guys have your projections chat and a lot of stuff is being discussed, the ball knowing elements there. But do you guys ever want the ball knowing stuff as part of the NBA, or you want it to be able to function like without that?
Function without that is the goal for NBA. Yeah. Or just have it where if it's humanly possible, to just have it baked in.
Mm-hmm.
So right now that's what we're basically going through and comparing it, comparing to lines, comparing to props, comparing to other sites, comparing to what Yuta had for it, that night, what Adam thinks should happen. And then each night going over, like, why was it different? What was wrong? And then give the guys some ideas, and then they go back to the drawing board and then add it in to the model.
And to the point where hopefully then it's incorporating all of the stuff that you want.
Yeah. I ask every day, I'm like, do you guys see anything way off? Cause like there'll be stuff like, like the first iterations and stuff, like the minutes would be wrong, like on a team level. And it's like, unless you think there's going to be a leak in the stadium, like in Philadelphia, this should be more than 238.75 minutes total for this team, or the minutes might be over. And it's like, well, what do you really think the overtime odds are of this, given the Vegas line, just tons of stupid shit like that you're just, what were the minutes of this player while he was on the court historically compared to the Vegas line, all the Wowie stuff, is that getting incorporated? Some of the stats are really volatile and weird, turnovers and stuff like that. But I think NBA is easier than, this is just my opinion, than MLB and NFL to model.
Okay.
And that NFL is such a small sample, I still think it's more complicated than NBA, which has a huge sample. And the MLB is got so much data now that you can source, and Owen, who does our back end, he's really good at about the stats ball know and stuff. So he doesn't miss anything. But I don't know. This is my opinion. I'd like to Dinks in chat. Except you, Dink. Of course, what you do is just no one can do.
Wow. That. The rare Dink sighting in chat.
I'd like to hear, what does he think? Is that crazy? Do you think baseball is easier? And NFL is easier? I think NBA is. I think MMA is weird. That's a weird one.
Did you see the shit Dink got on Twitter the other day for a post?
What is he doing? He don't show Dink my shirt, actually.
What is it? Is it the Vegas
shirt?
Oh, jeez. I thought it was going to be your Vegas Dave.
It was a clean shirt. That what happened.
No, Dink had Oh yeah. It was at the start here. After a decade working in DFS, sometimes I daydream about
Oh my God.
doing work that doesn't have a ticking time
I
clock
did
bearing
see
down
that.
on me at all moments. Really
Yeah.
weird aspect to this. So just like a classic like point of view. This is my life. This is how I feel about something. But he got a lot of pushback from people who are saying you have it
Oh.
so good, buddy, getting to talk about fantasy football or fantasy basketball. For
Oh
your
my
job.
God. I didn't read the comments. What fucking
Yeah,
loser.
this was the Steve, Mr. Air Raid concept. So give me a fucking break. Go lay some asphalt for a day and get back to us. Go lay some asphalt. But then there was some response to that I think I liked her. Oh yeah, yeah. He goes, yeah, but when does it need to be finished by? As if the asphalt doesn't have a deadline of when you need to get it poured as well.
Yeah, I've played asphalt before. Doing it for a couple days is actually kind of fun. Construction stuff. It's doing it every day that kind of sucks. Getting outside. The PTSD you get from NBA DFS is real. These guys have no idea what they're talking about. I love. Oh my God! I mean, they can't like put themselves in this person's shoe like whatsoever. But I wonder what jobs they do. You know, like I imagine Steve was like taking a break from his Call of Duty here to tweet this out, surrounded by like a bunch of empty monster cans.
Well, and it's like there's like two things to it. It's like remember when like the white people problems was like such a meme for so long? That's like mid 2000s internet. And it's like, yes, that can be true, but does it also mean that like if you just have like a slightly above average like hand in life that you're never able to complain or want more or to want to fine tune, like your life or whatever. And then the other thing about this too is like it's the human condition. We actually talked about it with the money. We've been talking about some of these guys who get compromised with the sports betting and how it's like, well, how could you ever do this? Because you make all this money. Why would you risk it? And it's like, well, it gets normalized. Like having $3 million, that's like to someone who doesn't have 3 million, it's like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. Once you have 3 million, then it's like, well, having 5 million would be a lot nicer. It's the same thing with any job. It doesn't matter how cool your job is or whatever. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be so thankful. I'm so incredibly thankful to be able to do this, but it gets normalized in a way where you get, I don't know what it is, like where you're like, yeah, I want this to be better, or like this pisses me off. And it's like, are you not allowed to complain because you have it good, or how does that go?
Yeah, totally. Like, you can't suffer unless you're the person who suffers the most on the planet. Like you have to like, it's only, what is the person who suffers the most on the planet? And then you can only compare yourself to that person. My new model is after like these last few shows is, I don't know how different it is than my old model, but is everyone's stupid, Pete, and everything's rigged. So everyone's stupid and everything's rigged. You can pretty much just break everything down to that. And it's just stupid people responding to you. So like what he responds, thanks, Steve, is exactly what you should do. Cause there's no like, way to deal with someone who's just not going to be able to cognitively understand what you're talking about. And so like what he's talking about here is when you're done with work and laying your asphalt, Steve, which I doubt you're really doing, you go home and have a beer and whatever, you want to do, and you don't give a shit about that asphalt. With DFS, NBA DFS specifically, like every minute you have to like be checking your phone and being like, oh, wait, what the fuck? Until the last game.
Yeah.
And even then you might want to wait a few minutes. And if you're not playing like some second half stuff.
Yeah. We've talked about it before. Like the one job that is just, I think I've even said it on this show, like the Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, the reporters who literally are on 24/7. Like they can't even sometimes take flights because they're worried about not being able to talk to sources. And just like, you want to talk about being able to put your head down on a pillow at night and just not have a million things racing through your head. And again, there are other bigger problems in the world other than NFL news and hot stove stuff. Well, let's add that caveat for air raid concepts here. Yeah. But just that idea of like my brain being in that thing and I have a million messages and I'm managing these relationships and like, you couldn't pay me. There is not a salary in the world you could pay me to do Adam Schefter's job.
Is this proof, Pete, that the air raid is a bullshit NFL system?
Yeah, it died. Cliff Kingsbury brought it to the NFL. It was such a horrible idea that it started being jokingly called the horizontal raid. And Hal Mummy in his beautiful air raid just was not meant for the NFL.
Yep. Okay. And one more piece of evidence: the air raid is bullshit.
I was going to ask on the NBA thing, because a huge thing is too of like when the projections come out. And I'm thinking about it through the lens of this is also very different for like underdog drafters versus, salary cap you have until lock or whatever to set your lineup. So it doesn't matter quite as much. But the underdog drafters, they're getting in there early, drafting teams the night before. Like they want projections as early as possible. Like what in your kind of ideal version of this product, like when are these out on for each slate?
Yeah, they're out early. They're out like early in the morning, like not early in the morning, but like 10, I think, is when it first gets pushed. It like does not matter for DFS, especially like you really should be making your lineups like 5 minutes before lock,
right?
NBA, in my opinion, NBA DFS, but they do get out there early. It matters for if you're going to use them to like price props. If you have like a little model that you put projections into,
yeah,
they could be useful, but DFS is not useful. But the plan is to push them out there early. And then it updates I can't remember what hours it updates throughout the day. And then we have it tied directly to Twitter for any lineup changes that get pushed. It automatically triggers the changes.
That's cool. Are you using like some AI stuff to make that feasible?
I'm not using anything, Pete. But
that sounds like a cool setup though, to take a lot of
Let's
that.
See. I don't know. I see on your computer though, there's already a bug. Why is San Antonio's logo not showing up?
Oh,
I'm not getting in on mine.
Let's see.
No, I am getting it.
Okay, there you go.
SA.
If the numbers are right and that's your one bug, you're doing good.
Yeah, well, we'll see. So try it out. People tell us we suck and what's wrong.
Can you guys hear me too here? Let me know if you guys can still hear me. I think I lost Brian there. All right. We'll get Brian back here in a second. The other stuff we're going to dive into today is just all of this stuff heating up with the prediction markets. And, we were kind of hinting at this last week with the Vegas stuff and being like, all right, when are these legislators and, in the case of the Indian reservations and those casinos as well, they're now all coming out and starting to show pleasure with some of this stuff. You back, Brian?
I am. Was that me?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Okay.
You're back though. I was just transitioning us into starting to talk about the pushback that these prediction markets are starting to get here. One that was funny to me was Dina Titus. This is the congresswoman from Nevada. And she was the one that was, we talked about her on the show because she was the one trying to get the that earmark in the big, beautiful bill that was going to add the tax, that extra tax for the gambler. She was going to get that removed. Our hero, Dina. And now she says allowing prediction markets like Kalshi to offer event contracts on sports is just a backdoor to offering sports betting in states that have not authorized it without consumer protections or market integrity guardrails. So the first question, do you think they're most concerned about consumer protections on Kalshi or more concerned about competition for their
God, I don't know, Pete. It's so hard to figure this one out, isn't it? Where everyone's motivations lie. I think that you could just we were taught like these institutions are here to, protect us and work on behalf of us. And you could basically just assume the exact opposite. They are actively working against you. Let's see.
The chat's now saying that they can't see me. I just toggled my audio. Can you hear me, guys? Can you see me now? Man, I wonder if StreamYard's
I see
having a
you
glitch
fine.
thing.
It might be StreamYard's because I don't think there's anything wrong with my internet. Yeah, he's going back and forth. He's just testing out his camera, I think.
I'm just pulling there's something's glitchy with StreamYard here.
Okay. I hear you. I'm assuming it's being recorded too, so
well, good thing we are mostly an audio podcast. Let me double check on my YouTube here, and then I will try to do some troubleshooting while we talk. I'm not going to derail the show.
People want to see your beautiful face, Pete, apparently. That's what brings the ladies in.
All right, Brian, I'm going to refresh here. You talk about Dina and are her intentions pure?
So this is the Vegas legislator, and tell me if you guys can still see me if StreamYard's not screwing up, who was defending us during the tax hike of the big, beautiful bill, the gambling tax hike. And shocking that since she's in Nevada, that it might have been on behalf of her donors, which are most likely casinos, and not on you, the person who likes to gamble for entertainment. That's the big shock here. Yeah. And so they're going to fight these prediction markets. It looks like pretty hard in Nevada, which should be of no surprise to Kalshi and Polymarket and etc.
Here's a thing that would be funny, like to see how ideological is it versus rooted in even in defending their bottom line, which obviously they're gonna do that. What if like they got data back after 6 months and they're like, we have not noticed a tangible difference in our revenue or whatever with the release of prediction markets. Like it basically, you have some data scientists, they're like, yeah, this has like a neutral effect on your business. Would they still be adamant about this fight for ideological reasons? Or would they say, you know what? We don't care because we still are getting the money we were getting. And our thesis for not liking it in the first place is not actually true.
In my experience, they would still be upset about it. Yeah. So they also don't know, they can't prove it. You know, they might be losing money from other ways. Like maybe they would have gained money. How do you know they wouldn't have gained? Let's say they get exactly the same amount, but maybe they would have gained money. It's more like their piece of the pie that they've been cultivating for all these years. Like you can't do that is what they're thinking. I sent you this tweet. I think this perfectly sums it up. This one, I did a screenshot actually. This one right here. I'm gonna put it
share it
in our in the Discord. Right there, I just reposted it to you.
Gotcha. Oh, yes.
This guy is the.
Well, let me pull this up because I have his actual tweet, so we can pull up the full thing. Yeah, because this is the other big funny kind of pushback, right? Obviously, Nevada, they don't have it, and the Indian casinos in California, they are not into this. So there's this guy Victor Roca, Pachanga Band of Indians, editor of Pachanga.net, conference chair of the Indian Gaming Association, president of Victor Strategies, which that sounds funny. What is Victor Strategies here? So he had an initial tweet about this. This looks like a guy who tweets a lot. Am I not going to be able to find that?
I might have put the link in our Discord.
Oh my no. This guy might not be all there. He's tweeting Andrew Tate hyper liquidated posts. Oh, I'm now worried about this guy.
This is exactly who you want as your lobbyist, Pete. That's exactly the type of person you want fighting for you. Someone absolutely insane.
Here was the tweet. He said, "We're going after DFS plus next. I'm also hearing talk of prediction market legislation in California. Imagine what happens when the PMs are shut down by the SCOTUS. What goes up must come down, right?" And then this person replies, Serious question. Why worry so much about taking down DFS Plus and prediction markets when you could just release your own competitor sportsbook? Taking away all of these things aren't going to make people more likely to go to your casinos. If anything, it will make them come less out of spite. His reply, it's illegal. Next question.
It's so good. I love it. And then that Steve Brubaker guy right below that is an Illinois lobbyist, gaming lobbyist, who has not really helped us, the players. I'll say that. Yeah, it's so like you. I mean, I don't know how many different ways to explain it, but like you kind of have to get your mindset out of this. Like Alex here, Alex is normal, right? Alex is like hey, reasonable, you know, like why not just, I don't know, start your own prediction market, right? Like, oh, why not? Or like maybe this could be good for you guys, you know, anything reasonable. That has nothing to do with this. This is a big game that they're playing, and then they're making it clear here that they're going to come after DFS, not just prediction markets. They're just going to go nuclear here. So they're just going to use every piece of power they have in influence to fight what's coming. And maybe they should, like, from their perspective, honestly, you know, like, I'm not saying it's right, but like maybe that's exactly what he should be doing. Maybe that is his job.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason I asked that question, where it's just like I do wonder, like, do you think there would be a way for them to test that? Like, say they were more open-minded and they're like, hey, these data scientists, can you go see if DFS Plus or if prediction markets are actually hurting our revenue? Do you think they could actually do a study and figure that out?
I don't know. I mean, I guess like close enough, maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, it goes back to the like pick your battles thing. And I'm just like, is this like, there have to be more important battles for them if they knew that this wasn't actually hurting their bottom line that much, which it seems like most reasonable people, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe their bottom line would be like, to me, this isn't like, say when Uber, you know, flipped the taxi industry on its head, right? And it's like, oh my God. Now, like, this doesn't seem like a 1-for-1 thing in the way rideshare programs are to taxis, like prediction markets and DFS Plus to brick and mortar casinos.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can make an argument where it brings some of them in.
Yeah.
Like a little bit, especially like the casinos that have sports books. There has to be some people who like were playing best ball and then did some props. And they're like, oh, well, I've never gone to a casino before. Like I've done it online, but I've never been there. Let's go there and have some fun one night.
Exactly. Not to mention the people who are playing DFS, who are dabbling in prediction markets, they're in it, right? They're doing everything. They're shopping around for the best price. They like sports. They like to gamble. Like, I have just never once thought about an if then or kind of thing when it comes to casinos and these other things. Like, it just never once been like, I have to make my choice of like, even if you had a tighter bankroll, like you're still not choosing between those two things.
Yeah. I think it's just, they're used to doing this and it's the only tool they have.
Yeah.
The only tool they have is this hammer. It's like, we have these relationships with these we've lobbied these people. We have these relationships. We know how this works. You know, we can't like we don't even know what a prediction market is. We just heard of this like 6 months ago and we think it's bad. Like there's no way we're going to start a company. Like we're some stupid poker room in where is he? Sam Penchanga or whatever, you know, like we have a poker room. We know how to run a poker room. That's it. And squash legislation that might cost us a penny.
Yeah. Yep. This is an important thing we do have to circle back to from last week. S. Johnson wants to know, have we discussed Brick's For You page this show? Curious if it has been fixed or not. Brian, how's your For You page looking?
It's pretty similar, but I did get some confirmation from people like Adam Levitan said his page is bugged too.
I was wondering if you were going to out Levitan for telling us.
Well, I didn't say it exactly like he said it. So Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe his page is also bugged. He might not agree
Yes.
with that, but my page is certainly bugged.
There is
And
a reason why Brian doesn't do the Twitter screen shares on this show.
I
and
can't
I do.
anymore. Yeah, I can't share my screen.
Dude.
It's probably just good policy to not do that.
Well, it's just funny because I just went to my For You page. I was like, can I scroll for some gooning here? Number one post that pops up on my For You page. Fanatics CEO Michael Rubin tells Sarah Eisen that they are launching Fanatics Predicts in the next few weeks with crypto.com. It is non-fucking stop.
This look at all right, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it.
Are you gonna share your
Let me
screen, Brian?
quickly look. I think I'm okay. Okay, now I'll share.
Share your screen.
This is a search I did right before the show. I still have it up. It's gonna be like hot chicks doing no yoga or something. Kelsey Valiant.
My light mode, my eyes.
I have this set for dark mode too. It's just I don't get it.
You told me that you said the naked ladies pop more on the white background.
I never said that. Kelsey has basically had 0% growth for 2 months. Like, where's another one?
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
Prediction market weekly update November 14th. Kelsey 1.3 billion, Polymarket 1 billion. I've never heard of this one. Opinion Labs XYZ 665 million makes me think maybe this market is big because I've never fucking heard of Opinion Labs XYZ. If they're bringing in 665, transactions 4.6 for Kelsey and Polymarket's not in, I believe, not in any Illinois, any American state, right? Still, Polymarket 4.1. I mean, do these numbers like? Do they even warrant this type of reaction? And another one I saw, which was why I was searching for this, and maybe I could find it, is the sports betting makes up a decent chunk of it. From
of the handle on the
handle.
markets.
Now, the guy who said it though, it was the top 5 users, not the total amount. So I wanted to dig into it a little further. But if it is a huge percentage of that is sports betting, then, I think you have your answer. But I don't know. Do you think 1.3 billion? So like, what was that total for those top ones? Was like what, 3 billion?
Yeah.
That's pretty big, I guess. I don't know. I don't know though. I don't know how big the, how many, who will be Travis Kelce's groomsmen. I don't know how many of those markets are going to pick up enough money to take over the sports betting portion of it. I hope a lot. I think that's what's fun, like the political polling and all that stuff, or even the stock market stuff, but just more interesting stock market stuff instead of just betting on Amazon stock.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Because it's kind of funny to think about the various tactics that people are going to take, right? Because you have the upstarts in the prediction markets that hadn't done anything in legacy sportsbook stuff. But then you have people like DraftKings who are kind of straddling it, right? Like legacy sportsbook, also dabbling in the prediction market space in case that just becomes a path of least resistance for them. And then you have like the brick and mortars, the Indian Gaming Commission, the Nevada stuff. If you're DraftKings, which side do you want to be on? It's just like, let's just spin up our own prediction market. Let's just be fluid here. Or do you want to join the brick and mortars of, we're with you. Like, we did things the right way and got our license and all of this. Let's, box everybody out. Like, what do you think is a better strategy for those in the middle?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I mean, for the people in the middle, I don't know. I mean, I think DraftKings is doing, I think I like what DraftKings is doing. Like, they can't ignore it. They have to go for it. They pull out of the gaming association because they know they're going to get, it's not going to work that way. Like they're, it's going to have to be too much compromise.
Yeah.
And so they're just like starting their own. And my guess is like their worst case scenario is they're illegal in a couple states, but they get most of what they want in most states is their long-term play. I would guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Because
go
yeah,
ahead.
because I was just thinking like the upside for someone in the middle to be able to operate in every single state is worth more than probably just the handle on the states you are allowed to be in, but not be in the California market or in these bigger markets, right? Like they probably, like if they are just thinking about bottom line, they probably lean to the prediction market side as being the biggest boon for their business.
Well, because you actually have a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. It's this then the meme we've been talking about where it's like, how can you start? You can't start your own casino. It's just not realistic for majority of people. I sent you a tweet or a screenshot or something where I thought this guy made a good point. This
Was it the Andrew Kim one?
Yeah.
I had that. Here it is. Yeah,
I
so he
think
says
this makes sense. I don't know if he's right, but go ahead.
Yeah, he says, for whatever it's worth, whether sports contracts are quote unquote contracts involving gaming isn't really before the courts. It's come up a few times, but more as a secondary or tertiary issue. The questions before the courts are whether state gambling/gambling laws are preempted and whether the contracts are swaps and therefore fall within the CFTC's exclusive jurisdiction.
Right. So if they're preempted, they're screwed. There's nothing they can do. So if it falls under the CFTC, this is what they're banking on.
Yeah.
And what do you think? What is the practice, where you could was it physiognomy or whatever, where could you Google Shane Coplan or Coplan? What do we think? Do we think this guy?
Wait, who am I Googling?
Shane, Shayne.
Yeah.
Coplan, Coplan, CEO of Polymarket.
Yeah.
There he is. What do we think of the physiognomy here? Is Shane shrewd enough that he foresaw this whole battle with the states and the casinos pushback, and he was making the CFTC play, and he knew that the Supreme Court or whoever eventually is going to rule on this is that the CFTC will preempt state law and Polymarket will be deemed a swap and be legal. What do we think? Or is this a tech bro who's just doing stuff?
If we've learned anything from tech bros, it is you break stuff, you move quickly, and you apologize / figure out an alternate plan later. I think they see opportunity and you just go a million miles an hour and you figure it. They're doing it live. Fuck it, we're doing it live. I feel like that's the MO of any of these companies.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to judge on this guy's face. But this is where I'm left these days, Pete. Everyone's stupid. Everything's rigged, and you should judge people based on what they look. That completely changed everything, I believe. They're saying, like Sam Bankman-Fried and Chant, they're saying he got it though, didn't he? Though he was heavily involved with donating to both sides of the political aisle. So he was trying to play the game. I mean, he was probably, I don't like 10, whatever you want to call it, pills of Adderall deep every day, going crazy, making his trades and shit. He fucked up big time, but it seemed like he kind of did get it. So it's possible this guy's a genius or whatever, and he's thought ahead that they're going to win this lawsuit and be deemed a swap, and there's nothing the locals can do about it. I don't know though, man. I think I don't know where this ends up. Probably in some sort. My guess would be it's going to be like sports betting, some sort of compromise.
Yeah.
Where, all right, you got to buy our casinos, then, asshole. You got to buy in. You're going to buy in. Like in Illinois, where DraftKings had to buy a casino, FanDuel had to buy a casino, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
What do you think, going back to the big beautiful bill and that gambling thing. And we were kind of already talking about the differences with sports betting at multiple books and how that would actually probably make you liable to the new tax. Whereas if you just played at a single DFS site, you were probably okay, the way you're not like balancing multiple 1099s. Like, where do you think the prediction market wins and losses falls in line under that new gambling provision?
God, I know. I have no fucking idea. I mean, I sent it to my brother. I don't know if I sent it to you, but I saw a tweet where a guy says, prediction market bros sending in their tax returns to their accountant. It's like 15%. Will Taylor Swift's marriage happened before January 4th? 20%, all these crazy prediction market bets. Like, how is that? I don't
know. No, it's like how embarrassed I was sending all my personal accounting for trading NFTs like a couple years back. And it's just like, oh yeah, those, that cuddly koalas, for, NFTs I traded line item. And you're just like, this is embarrassing. Well, I'd rather just not have made any money than to let someone else see that I did this. Ugh.
Yeah. I think crazily enough, this is what they're banking on. It's a stronger form of the DFS isn't gambling, it's a skill game.
Yeah,
that was doomed from the beginning. Although my hat goes off to them. Like, at least you tried. You stuck with that for a while.
Yeah,
but I think it's much stronger than that. Like, because they're trying to embed in a legacy market institute, whatever you want to call it, the stock market, where there's already tons of laws and precedents or whatever the legal terms are. So like that's pretty smart, and they should stick with that as hard as they can. The sports betting, I think they went in too early. This is another reason why I think that Shane Copeland guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He might be a really smart guy, and I should dig into his background, because he's one of these. He might be one of these guys where it's like, I'm going to start my own cell phone company, and I want to know like how that fucking happens. Who do you know? Who are you connected with? But maybe he's not connected with anyone. He's just, I don't know, started this from the ground up somehow. But yeah, I'm not sure that they had this grand plan of using existing law to their benefit to circumvent the power of the state lobby. I think just like DraftKings, they didn't realize how powerful these casinos were at the local level, didn't think ahead. And then they went with the CFTC angle later on because some lawyer gave them a good idea. And then they bought these what are they, CFTC license off these other companies as like, fuck, let's try this. It might work, but if it works, even if it works to a compromise, then it was worth it. So like, even if they do get some sort of, okay, we'll have to invest, $100 billion into Caesar's stock or something, then it's a win.
People also pointing out, I was starting to think this too. Why do all these crypto guys look the same? even the Kalshi and Poly Market guy. So this is Shane. What's the Poly Market CEO here? No, that's sorry,
you meant Kalshi. You meant Kalshi.
Yeah, Kalshi.
Now Kalshi bro doesn't look like him, I don't think.
He's they
he's
all have
Indian version of him or something. What is that?
Yeah, but then you get like maybe it's like the disheveled look here too. The curly hair. Like if you go through these all quickly, like if you were far away, like eye doctor tests, and they put these all in the really small row, you wouldn't be able to distinguish the difference between Copeland, Kalshi CEO here, and SPF.
Oh yeah. If you had an alien come down, like there's no difference between these species, these people. Oh man, look at that physique in the second picture on the top.
Do you think all the prediction market bros are like pretty stoked about the Epstein files being dominating all the discussion and attention in the Senate and the House right now? So it's like, oh yeah, maybe eventually they'll get around to trying to plug up these holes that we're exploiting, or and we just have this as covered out for however long.
Maybe so, but I get the feeling they're way farther ahead federally than they are at the state level.
That's true. Well, because of
maybe
all the CFTC like relationships and stuff, it seems like it's smooth sailing on that front.
Maybe they want to wrap up. So like, hey, let's get to work on. Remember what we talked about? Let's get this. Let's get the content. They're swaps. Whether Taylor Swift has Ice Spice as her bridesmaid is definitely falls under the CFTC swap, Pete. I don't know how this stuff. It's all so fake and fucking phony. It's all fucking fake and phony, and they're so awful. They're just a bunch of awful people.
Did you hear aren't they trying to get like SBF out now too?
Do you know I want him out, right?
Why do you want him out? I miss this.
Because it costs like 150 grand a year to keep him in there. Have him fucking cleaning my roads.
Do an asphalt, lay an asphalt, or no, even better yet, daily NBA DFS minutes projections.
There's such a thing.
The hell.
No, there's such a thing as cruel and unusual punishment in this country, Pete.
That's too far.
You making him work for ETR's NBA product is cruel and unusual.
Hey,
I'm
Dink,
pretty sure.
We just found your new personal assistant. We're taking the burden of housing him away from the feds, and he is going to come work at ETR. He'd actually probably be pretty good with his wizardry. He'd probably get
Look at
pretty
that
good
second picture. Is this guy running away anywhere? No, he's not running anywhere. Although he might be jacked now after a couple of years in prison. But put an ankle monitor on him, have him stay at his parents' house. I'm sure he probably still has a house somewhere.
What are you
working on? NBA minutes for ETR, saving them money.
He strikes me as someone who gets more doughy in prison. Like for some reason, he just does not strike me as the person who'd be like, all right, I'm just going to do 500 pull-ups a day now.
I don't know. I don't think he has a choice.
You think for survival, he had to get jacked?
Survival.
I don't know.
Survival kicks in.
There's no way. I'm looking at this guy right now. He can do as many push-ups as he wants. If someone wants to have their way with SBF, they're going to have their way with SBF.
Yeah, probably. Let's see if we got any new picks. No, that's not good. That was 2023. Yeah. It's hard to find new picks of he's only been in there a year. He probably can't be that jacked. He's got a long road ahead of him with that physique.
Brian, would you get jacked if you were in prison?
Oh, fuck yeah. I would get jacked before I got in there.
So you'd need kind of like a heads up of like, hey, I'm not ready. I need about 6 months and then I'll be ready.
Yeah, I'd just get my lawyers to delay.
Wait a second here.
Taking,
S. Johnson says this show's really getting off the rails. Let's flash forward 30 minutes ago. Who is the one that said, have we discussed Bricks For You page? You were literally the one that sent us off the rails. We were talking about prediction markets. We were talking about news, and you wanted us to start gooning it up. Then we start gooning it up, and now you say we're off the rails? Get out of here.
Wow.
Get out of here.
Pete, excellent.
I do want to pull up. Did you see this thing that was going on with Connor Allen in Caesars Sportsbook? Did you see this post?
Yes, you should. Yeah.
So he did this post the other day. He had talked about like taking advantage of some of the wind stuff that Kevin Roth had tweeted about. So he's doing like no field goals made, longest field goals under, yada yada. Then what happened is there were no field goals attempted in this Giants-Packers game where he bet that the longest field goal would be under whatever yard. Caesars voided it. He asked them why, and he said, it's because no field goals were attempted. Yet no action on no field goals attempted is not listed in the house rules when you finalize the bet, in your bet slip, or in the market. They reached out and explained why. And when I asked where I could find the rules, they said not all rules are available. They claim they have too many prop bets to list all the rules. Completely invalid argument. This is Connor talking. If you post a market, rules for that market should be available somewhere, plain and simple. Other books graded it as a win. I will point out other books didn't grade it as a win, including, I think, DraftKings, who had it specifically in their rules, this stipulation. He says, not even a significant amount of money for me, but had a ton of subs tail and don't think this is right. So a few things to unpack there. First of all, do you think Caesars is within its right to void this bet?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Caesars is a scummy company that has false marketing and all those sorts of things. But yeah, I would say that they're probably in the right for them to do that. But I think it's a scummy thing to do. Like, some things aren't illegal, but they're just scummy.
Yeah.
That's like this, I would say. So yeah, like, yeah, you have the right to do that, you fucking loser. Like that type of thing. I don't know. Yeah, you know, like it's like, you know, what are you're going to pass laws to like every single market. This is the game, though. We kind of touched on this last week or 2 weeks ago. Is they put up a whole bunch of markets so they can get some noobs to bet on it, and they're just doing that as like a coupon to drag in customers. They don't want you beating it. Yeah, that's not right. But like, you know, Connor knows that, I'm assuming.
Yes. I think there's a couple interesting things to me here. Like, there's some of these controversies that have popped up. Remember, what was it? Was it the one golf tournament where some of the, I forget what exactly happened there, but basically you could still bet parlays on finishing, and it was like delayed, but then it was going to be canceled. So you knew the actual finishing, and people were like ripping in.
It was
exactas. Yes. And that's like taking advantage of a situation. Like, these bets, the field goal ones, were made in good faith. It was saying, hey, like, a field goal will probably be attempted, and because it's windy, like, they weren't bet to exploit a non-rule. And to me, then it does enter a gray area. And to me, the PR hit that Caesar is taking from this, and this tweet went fairly viral within sports betting Twitter, 40 quote retweets, 96 replies. I know in the grand scheme of things, like an Epstein post, that's nothing. But within the sports betting community, when these guys are competing for market share, they're fighting, I think was the word I was going for. Again, it just like eat those bets too. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much they were on the hook for here, but it couldn't have been enough to take the PR hit.
They were banking that Connor Allen was just Connor Allen down the street who has no followers.
But here's the thing, though, about that thesis is I think they know who Connor Allen is, because they reached out. And then on top of this, Connor did that tweet. And now I need to go back. What did they do? He did another screenshot of saying they didn't like this tweet. Here you go. He goes, I guess Caesar Sports was not too happy about this tweet. They canceled his withdrawal for, I assume, another withdrawal request. Your funds have been returned to your account. Like, if they didn't grade out those as winners, I assume this withdrawal is just a typical withdrawal of like, I'm taking my money off the site or whatever. And they canceled his withdrawal. So like, they know who he is. And this is like another way of getting into a Twitter spat with him, I guess. I don't know.
Huh. Yeah, that seems illegal.
Yeah.
I have never had a withdrawal denied.
Never seen this.
Can't
before.
withdraw zero balance. Kanish says that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to know more there.
This guy, Todd Whittle, says, highly unlikely this is any form of punishment. First off, they were in the right regarding the bet they graded as no action. Second, I'm guessing you're not telling the whole story. When was your last deposit? What percentage of your balance were you trying to withdraw? I don't know. He didn't respond to this. So who knows what's actually going on with this? Do you think Connor, has it swung back around? Was he doing a little engagement farming here with the Caesar?
There might be more to this story, Pete, than meets the eye. But you know, would it surprise you if they behaved this way? I don't think so. I think you sent me this after the representative, what's her name, Diane Titus or whatever her name is. You sent me this tweet. And it was like so back. Like it was like poetic, where the representatives like, we can't have these prediction markets because the integrity the guardrails and the consumer protections. And then the follow-up tweet you send me is Caesars canceling, voiding a bet, and then canceling his withdrawal because they didn't like his fucking Twitter comment. So he claims. Who knows what the truth is, but it's like, oh, thank you for these guardrails and consumer protections. Oh, we need so much more of this in our lives. The Wild West was so much better. I'm telling you, the early 2000s was great.
Yeah. I guess like to my thing, it does seem like the spirit of the bet is that a field goal has to be attempted. And in that way, I think I side with the book, but it also is insane not to have that posted anywhere. Think about how many times, Brian, you've signed up for a website, any kind of thing, and you skim past 5 pages of legalese and, fine print, and you say, I approve, I agree to these stipulations, whatever. Like, you're telling me that they couldn't have, you can have ChatGPT put up this fine print for you and store it on some random page on the site. Like, you're telling me you don't have that anywhere? Like, that is malpractice for them. Like, that's crazy.
It's insane. Like when you start a business, you'd be, you'd like trying to think of every little thing, right? Like,
how are they going to get me?
Your little shitty business. You're trying to think of everything. These people, they're like, I don't know, just put it up there. Who cares? But I don't think they're even putting it up there. I think they're either copying these lines directly from a real bookmaker, or they're get a service provider or something. I could be wrong. Does anyone know if Caesars has a bookmaker in-house? I seriously doubt it. And so they can't put the details on there because they don't have them, because they copy them.
Yeah. This is the other part of this.
Which is, by the way, Pete, another, like, what are you guys fucking doing? Why wouldn't you have a bookmaker? Why wouldn't you try to put some, just like the fucking Indian casino guy? Like, why wouldn't you try to start your own thing? It's illegal. End of story. Next question.
And then the other thing that you get into all of the various meta games, and say you do get your way, say they pay it out or whatever, and then they just limit your account to $5 a bet. Because they're like, we now know who you are. Like, we know exactly what type of sports bettor you are. You're not the buddy who's drunk and firing off prop bets with your friends. Here's your money. You're limited now to peanuts. So it's like whatever lever they want to pull, they're ultimately gonna have it their way.
Right. Well, yeah, just asking about a rule clarification might get you banned, because they would just like, oh, the most dummies, losing bettors, they're not even going to clarify these rules. They won't even ask. So just even asking could get you banned, which would be fine in a world where there's hundreds of sports books to choose from. You just go to the next one. But you don't live in that world. Like, even in the states with the most have like 9 or something, and some of those will eventually go under.
Yeah.
And that's why they're fighting the prediction market so hard. They don't want to write the rules down somewhere, Pete. They just want to copy the line. It's much easier to call Diana Titus or whatever fucking name is and be like, oh, hey, we're going to be at the event tomorrow with a big check.
Put some respect on Dina's name, Brian.
Dina, whatever. Fuck her. Fuck all these people. Sorry, Dina. But I don't think you have my best interest at heart.
Fuck her. Sorry, Dina.
I mean, she's probably a nice lady. I don't know. But like people who sell out like this, there's a special place for them, Pete. I don't know where it is, but okay, these are my biggest donors. They're the ones who pay my checks, so this is what I'm going to focus on. It's like,
all right, Brian, choose your fighter. 51,800 followers, Dina Titus, or
Peter Overzet,
or
wait a second, you're behind the shit account? Oh,
fuck. Yeah, talk about a mask off moment. I'm the one posting those ship chasing tweets. 51,900 followers. I got Dina by 100 followers, baby. But pound for pound, who you taking?
I'm taking Dina. Sorry, Pete. She's gonna.
I get it.
We're talking about a fight, right? Yeah. No, she might have a few more connections than you in the gambling world.
Yeah,
and you have actually quite a bit.
Well, here's the thing too. If you want to
I don't
know,
think she's doing anything though. She's a Republican too, right?
yes, I believe so. Yeah. The or wait, is she?
I think so.
I can't remember.
I'm surprised that she doesn't have it in her. She doesn't have it on her page there. It should definitely not a proud Republican.
Yeah, she's really making us work for this. She's a member of the Democratic Party.
That's why.
Yeah. And that's why her posts get no engagement, because Elon is he has the algorithm out to get any Dems. You can't get any engagement if you're a Dem. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Dina's problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she has no power anyway. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
So here she is. So here was her other post about the CFTC regulations clearly prohibit event contracts based on gaming. And as such, the agency must crack down on platforms that improperly offer event contracts on sports outcomes. CFTC clearly feels differently based on.
And this is her quote, right?
This is her. Yeah.
This is her. Yeah. A quote of her. It's like, yeah, that's not official anything. That's a quote of you.
No.
Like if that was straight out of some legislation or something, it would make like, oh, okay, thanks for that information. You know,
this line is hilarious. Unfortunately, during today's hearing, Michael Seelig exhibited a troubling ambivalence toward fulfilling this legal responsibility.
He's the head of the CFTC.
He's got to be, yeah.
And he's pushing it to the courts, which of course is where it's going to go anyways, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what Grok thinks. Speaking of Elon, he's like, isn't he heavily invested in Polymarket now? Our prediction markets. We should probably go to ChatGPT for this one.
You're right.
Do prediction markets fall under CFTC swaps?
Yeah.
In your best opinion. Let's see.
See, Dina should have added Mike Seelig on X. She's got 5x as many followers. Should have gotten in a little Twitter battle with him here.
I wonder how much this guy knows. Because I think about that all the time too. And in our world, everyone's so like the field goal example. You know, that's like in our world, it's like, oh, they didn't have that written down. That's crazy. You know, how would you price that? These people, they don't know anything about anything. Like really, they know like a little bit about fundraising and like they're very personable people and stuff, but they don't, the idea that they're going to be able to regulate that level of minutia of the sports betting industry.
No, you have to be a domain expert to even understand it. Like
no idea. Which is actually an argument for lobbyists, by the way. People might not want to admit it, but that is like how else as a legislator you're going to get any domain knowledge without someone from the industry coming and telling you how it works. But yeah, like the idea that these people are going to protect you from this type of stuff is laughable if you've been there for a minute or just use your brain. Like there's not that many people who know this stuff.
Yeah.
And they're not working at the Capitol for sure.
All right. Filling us in on Dina's past political history. She's a neoliberal Democrat, so pre-MAGA Republican. Okay. So there you go.
Grok thinks that yes, in his best opinion, many prediction markets do fall under the CFT regulation as swaps. So if Grok is on the court, which might by the time that gets to that point, maybe the court will be replaced by AI, our new AI overlord, and you're gonna have legal prediction markets, baby.
Do you think that that'll be a reality at some point? Like you go in for like small claims court or any of these kind of things, and you literally just give the AI all of the details, and it makes an immediate ruling.
I wish.
I guess it could be fed testimonies too, or whatever, and it just like factors it all.
It would be much better than the current system. Yeah.
Probably.
I'm not even kidding. Like the current civil court system is a complete disaster. But they could, and also you could have both, right? You could have the first layer as the AI layer. AI is definitely not there yet. All the doomers though, who think AI is this, we're at year one of Terminator 2. It's not there yet, but once it does, I think that would be a fantastic first layer for the civil courts system. I wouldn't hold my breath though, because that's a bunch of jobs and a bunch of jobs, political jobs that they use to trade political influence and power. And so that's why those jobs never go away, because they're useful to them, not because they're useful to you.
True. All right, Brian, we're going to shut this. It comes full circle, just in the same way. Run the Sims NBA product. It's going to be both AI automated, and then Yuta and Ship My Money come in there with their ball knowledge to get those projections to where they need to be. The final ruling. Is Yuta playing NBA on a nightly basis?
I don't know. I didn't ask him. I'm assuming he is. NBA is a bitch though. He takes a few nights off. Can you maybe eventually, when you go to the government's website, there'll be a Run the Sims button for solving your civil court case. You just click the Run the Sims button, and
dude, I mean, think about the Run the Sims valuation if you guys become the in-house clearinghouse or whatever for all of these civil suits. I mean, I'd be talking nine figure company right there.
Yeah, this is a pivot that we need to talk about after the show.
There you go. All right, Ship My Money. You're off the NBA projections. We got something new for you here. All right, guys. Appreciate you all. I'm going to be doing the Battle Royale Bash here in 20 minutes. Like we said, no show next week because of Thanksgiving. We'll be back the week after that. You can always get this on your podcast app of choice. I'm going to go upload the audio here in a second. Otherwise, any final words from you, Brian?
No, but I think you mentioned at the top of the show, though, there's a lot of holidays coming up on Thursdays, so we're going to be hit or miss here coming up.
Yes. Yep. But we'll find a way to get back in your lives soon enough. For Brian, I'm Pete. Stay gooning out there.